Today we got an LT series direct port injection GM heads. They inject the fuel right there so they can get big compression without detonation, and you don't have to run, premium fuel with the compression that they need. But in other words, you do need to run premium fuel because otherwise you get buildups and stuff like that. And you can see how dirty this motor is. It's probably the lack of maintenance on some of it, that it's just got dirty oil in there that usually causes a lot of buildup like that. But if you get bad fuel, it doesn't burn very well and leaves deposits. But the subject we're getting onto today is because they're running direct port injection, they're still running EGR, your PCV and everything else through the engine, and that to evacuate things. Well, if you stop and think about it, pumping the EGR back in and stuff like that, it's almost like taking your sewer line and just replumbing it back into your plumbing on your house, and then you start drinking that. So when your motor starts drinking your sewer that you're doing, see the deposits and stuff, that's all carbon buildup from running exhaust gases back into the motor, and they get sticky because you got PCV systems, and you're going to have a slight amount of oil mist coming through a PCV system. So then your whole intake system is to have an oily thing to it. So then all the dry exhaust gases that you're putting in there are going to contaminate it, stick to that oil. So there we go. If you got not very good fuel going through there, you're recirculating fuel that's not burning efficiently back into it too, because if it's going out the exhaust, and it's more of a sooty exhaust rather than a clean exhaust because it's not burning very well. But when you start getting the buildup on the back sides of the intake valves with that heavy, you can see almost all of them have a really big heavy deposits on there. Well, what happens is when it starts getting up on the stem right here, well, if you look down in there at the valve guide, and that it's right there close to it, and if those deposits are really hard, they'll slowly build up and they'll start holding your valve open and not allowing it to seat, and then you get misfires in your engine because the valves aren't closing completely. If you look at the nice shiny line, that's not an issue on this one yet because it's is showing it's seating. Even the valves, when you look at the faces of them, they're still showing that they're doing their job as far as seating. So that's one of the disadvantages of direct port injection, is the fact that there's nothing in those intake ports to help wash out some of those contaminants. Yeah, even on a carbureted earlier fuel injection where it's washing that stuff, you're still washing all that carbon and everything else down through your ring systems, causing extra wear on your bores, extra wear on your rings, all that kind of stuff. If they could figure something else out besides pushing exhaust gases back down through there to control your emissions and double burn your fuel, your exhaust. Some of it's to slow your combustion chamber to reduce the combustion temperature cost, and the combustion temperatures to keep them in check. And that it's hard on things to be able to be putting that nasty stuff back through. But the way they build these things, there's not a whole lot you can do that, and that's why a lot of your diesel guys and that are doing EGR deletes, because they're even worse, as far as carbon buildup and stuff like that, because your everything's based off of detonation as far as your burning, so you get a lot more raw fuels and stuff down through your exhaust when they're burning, and so when you're recirculating your exhaust gases, it's even a higher carbon content, and they get really bad. There's some out there that the complete intake manifold is plugged solid just from the EGR gases building up in there and stuff. So Wish there was another way to do it, but unfortunately everybody's trying to meet their emissions and do things that way. But we'll see in the future what they do. Thanks for watching. If you like this, put a like on it, subscribe if you want more. Let me know what you guys want to see, because I'm more than willing to put something out there if somebody wants to see something. Have a great day.